when you conserve the environment, it will take care of you.
Right.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning and good morning. So I wrote this for two reasons. Very excited. I'm learning, like I say in every video. I'm learning so very much. Donholm is actually a name that came from one of the colonialists who lived here in the late 80s through the mid 90s.
My final shot is to appeal to the Nairobi government, Nairobi County government, at least to embrace this issue, to help more youth, at least to eradicate the crime scenes.
Right.
So far, as per my side, I've really tried. The number of workmanship that I have, I'm really trying at least to eradicate the issue of drug abuse.
This is the first place in Nairobi where they had the first cattle dip to fight against the East Coast fever. And the Delamere, we know that traffic. Traffic. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning and good morning. It's very early in the morning. You're probably wondering why I have this. One, for the right reasons. I hope you guys are enjoying the constituency series that we've been doing. And I really hope that you are staying tuned and excited for the next episode. I hope you're also looking forward to this episode. So I wrote this for two reasons. My first reason is, one, I realized because we are doing these shootings using a motorbike, shout out to Benji, who's also our cameraman. But also two, because I was doing an interesting constituency today. In our constituency series of the 17 constituencies in Nairobi, we're very excited. I'm learning, like I say in every video, I'm learning so very much. And so, ladies and gentlemen, today we are in Embakasi East. Embakasi East is the constituency that we are featuring today. And this is a very interesting constituency. First of all, this is where it's very historical because during the Mau Mau uprising, this is the constituency that our freedom fighters were detained. So that is one of the reasons I'm actually wearing like this, just to explain the resilience and the determination. So 1952 to 1960, when Kenya gained independence, actually around 1963, I think so. I'm not really sure. I don't know. Like I said, I've been learning a lot. Some of it I can't even keep, but I know we gained independence in 1963. Correct me if I'm wrong on the comment section. But this constituency actually has a number of words. We have Lower Savannah, Upper Savannah, Lower Savannah, Upper Savannah. See, Savannah grassland behind me. So that explains, and also when we were starting the video, you saw the cows. So that also explains to you the history of Nairobi. Still, I really get excited when, I think since I started doing this constituencies series of the Nairobi and really getting to understand Nairobi, I've been paying attention to the cattle around Nairobi, the trees and vegetation around Nairobi. And for me, this is really exciting. So we have areas like Utawala, which is a ward. We have Lower Savannah, Upper Savannah. We also have Mihango. but also some of the places that are known in Embakasi, places like Tasia. Utawala is very known. Apparently, it's also a ward. But Donholm, what is Donholm? So Donholm, just a little bit on the history of Donholm. Donholm is actually a name that came from one of the colonialists who lived here in the late 80s through the mid 90s. And his name was James. So he was a farmer, and also he had a huge dairy farm here in Donholm. And he also had a huge plantation as well. So this guy, there's really a lot that he contributed during his life here in Donholm. And so he mentioned this place, Donholm. I'm really not sure about the meaning of the word Donholm, but he called him Donholm. But this is one of the places that still retains its colonial name. There's a lot of factors that he contributed. Actually, it said that this is the first place in Nairobi where they had the first cattle dip to fight against the East Coast fever. And the Delamere, we know the Delamere for farming. We have Delamere yogurts and Delamere milk. But this is where the major dairy farming began, actually, in Donholm. And so to know that it's also one of the places, the constituents where our freedom fighters were detained. This is a place with a rich history, Kenyan history as well. So in the history of Kenyan dairy farming upgrading, this guy, James, actually hugely contributed to where the dairy farming is today. This guy was also known to build road networks and develop estates, building structures. And through farming here, he actually got a lot of medals. In the East African, I think he was the first person to get medals on dairy farming. But also his contribution to the infrastructure of Kenya, of Nairobi, and the development of Nairobi, as well as farming, was evident. As we had started, you saw that grass and you saw that cow. So that still explains how the history of this place came to be. Interestingly, there are a lot of very nice estates around Donholm, and that explains his passion for developing this place. Today, Embakasi East is one of the vibrant constituency, not because of what it is or the history, but comparing that to the freedom fighters being detained in this constituency. We have one of the youngest freedom fighters who's the MP for this constituency, the very famous and young MP, Member of Parliament Babu Owino, which is also a person of my interest. I hope one of these days we'll get to interview him. But as you can tell, the structures and the houses are very nice and prestigious. And we are in the interior, so the road network is not very good here, but there is a road network, there is a road structure. And so it's really evident that this guy, James Watson, laid a foundation to the development and the building, the foundation of the development of this place, Embakasi East. And also in this constituency, we have Utawala. So Utawala is a Swahili word that actually means takeover, or Tawala. It's from the word Tawala, which means takeover. And it's really interesting how this guy, James, took over this area of Donholm and developed it actually. And so the other area that we have here is Mihango, which is really interesting to me because think about it. Mihango is actually a surname. It's a Kikuyu word that means business. And so we have Donholm, which is a colonial name, and then we have Mihango, which is a very native, deep actually Kenyan culture name. And those two are very contrasting, and it's the same place that our freedom fighters were actually detained. And now we have Babu Owino that he's starting a whole revolution for young people. And is actually very vibrant in fighting for the freedom of young leaders and the leaders of Kenya at large, of young Kenyans at large. So it is really interesting to really get into the history of these places and learn a little bit about it. But what I also realize here that is very unique from other constituencies that we've been doing is the structures, the houses are very prestigious. And I thought for the Lower Savannah and Upper Savannah, I really couldn't find the history of it. But I hope we find a young leaders, not today, but eventually. Today we're just taking you through this area. And it's really funny because there's still greenery around here. But contrasted with the estates that are around here as well. So I hope you guys are enjoying this series of the Nairobi constituency. I'll take you guys for a walk around so you can see some of the, you already see the architecture, you already see the estates, and you see the greenery. So I'll take you guys for a ride so you can see around this area. Also, something that is really interesting about this constituency, it borders Embakasi South, which is where the airport is, and it's very close. Actually, it's very close to the what was initially known as Embakasi Airport, currently known as the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. Ladies and gentlemen, I really hope that you guys are learning something and you are enjoying this series of the Nairobi constituency. I'm also learning and I'm very excited. Yeah, so talking of farming, look at what's coming our way. Yes. So this guy really laid a foundation here of both farming and construction and architecture. This looks like still a swampy land. If you look at it, it still looks like it gets swampy here. And this probably explains why it was called the savannah and why this guy had his plantations here and also his dairy farming land here. Let's go as we continue the story of Embakasi East. Twende. Still in Embakasi East, as you guys already know, this is the place where freedom was fought and our freedom fighters were detained. So I'm hanging out with a gentleman here who is also from this constituency. Tell us your name, brother.
I'm Oscar Mbihi.
Oscar Mbihi.
From Embakasi East, Embakasi Ward.
Embakasi East, Embakasi Ward. So Embakasi is divided into how many wards?
Roughly there are around 5 or 6 wards.
Ah, okay. I know a number of them.
Embakasi,
Utawala,
Mihango, Lower Savannah,
and Upper Savannah.
Upper Savannah.
This guy is very cute with this constituency. So Oscar,
yes.
I don't understand why Embakasi also has an Embakasi that's a ward again.
I think Embakasi is the main ward in Embakasi East.
Right.
This is the largest one with the largest population.
Ah, okay. That's really good. So if you might know, so this is one of the places where the freedom fighters were detained. Who is your area MP?
Our area MP is Babu Owino.
Babu Owino, which I had also mentioned initially. This is one of the vibrant, youngest leaders in Kenya that is really fighting for young leaders' freedom. Do you see a relationship between the detention in Embakasi East and then what Babu currently is doing?
Yes, there is a relationship there. He's really working hard to empower the youth, the women, and the community at large.
Ah, I told you guys, but now you're getting it from a resident, somebody who comes from this constituency. So Oscar,
yes,
tell us some of the things that Embakasi East is known for.
I think Embakasi East is known for being the opposition. The stronghold.
The opposition area. And so now we're seeing a transition of the Prime Minister who's in the former Prime Minister, Honorable Raila Odinga, who is in the opposition transiting to vying for the seat of the AU chairperson. What do you think is left of Embakasi as a stronghold?
I think what is left of Embakasi is just to empower ourselves. Maybe, if possible, if the current MP can be chosen as the ODM party lead.
ODM party leader. I have seen a little bit of titles about it. He has also given conditions. He's one of the strongest leaders, and he stands his ground. And it really inspires a lot of young leaders like me and you as well. And so if it happens, because I remember even there was a board that was chosen initially, and he came out about it, and he was like, I'm representing the youth. And he's actually been known for the students leader for the longest time of the East African University, not just Kenya, but the East African University. And we didn't see him on that. So what do you think would happen if he's not? Because for me, I really understand that Babu intimidates a lot of leaders, and he really scares. So there is fear of this guy taking over and taking a political position that many, I think, would not want to see. What do you think would be left of Babu Owino?
I think he's a go-getter. Even if he misses the ODM party leader, he might go for this other post, maybe for the governor, the senate of the Nairobi County.
Without doubt, I think this guy might be the senator or the governor. He refuses to say that he's going to go for it. He's still working for these guys, and that is what he says in all the interviews when asked about his trajectory. So Oscar, tell our viewers what you do.
So far, I'm a garbage collector based in Embakasi ward, specifically in Tasia. So what we do, we always collect garbage. So have a small farm of which I've employed quite a number of guys whom we always collaborate on collecting garbage.
Nice. Young people making change in the community. We're talking about garbage collection and littering around. This is one of the constituency that is in very good order. Talking about the foundation that James had brought about in this constituency. If you know the history of Embakasi, it's a village that was inhabited by this guy James. I don't know if you know about it, during the colonial period. And one of his biggest thing was actually development and creating structure, but it was a dairy farmer, I think, and he chose this place because of the savannah, the words that you have mentioned. As we can see around also, this is a bit of a swampy place. How is farming practice in Embakasi? Have you seen areas where they're doing farming?
So far as for now, the advantage that we have in Embakasi East is the Ngong River.
Ngong River.
So most of the farmers are based along the Ngong River, so they use the water from the Ngong River for irrigation.
This is something that we didn't know about, and Oscar is bringing to our attention. What other things should you bring to the attention of our viewers about Embakasi East?
Some other things I think is just all about the youth empowerment. Maybe then Embakasi East is a very privileged constituency. We have the airport over there.
Airport, yes.
As you can see, I'm wearing a Coca-Cola jersey.
Coca-Cola jersey. But behind it, I think I saw something about your foundation. Waste to something.
Yes. We are working towards the green economy.
Green economy.
The circular one.
Okay.
So we are collaborating with Coca-Cola. We always take the plastics to their company so that they can recycle it to make them.
Okay, that's really interesting. So this is one of your projects, right?
Yes.
So we're gonna work with Oscar, and then Oscar is also empowering young people and creating jobs for young people as well. Coincidentally, this was not planned, but I saw what his April read, and I thought this must be the guy that is in charge of this. So I was doing a story of Embakasi East, and it's one of the unique constituencies, 17 constituency in Nairobi.
Yes.
And I think the vibration in it is evident in you as a young leader. So what got you into the garbage collection, and what inspired you getting into garbage collection?
I think I saw an opportunity in it. Then the main issue about it, garbage is a circular.
Right.
When you get into the into into such kind of job, there is no time when you'll be unemployed. It is an all-time job. So what inspired me was all about, initially people used to dump garbage all over,
everywhere. Yeah.
So I found an opportunity in it. Then I think it was a matter of conservation, a matter of empowering youth,
Right.
and a matter of at least working towards the green economy.
It is early morning. I was here in the morning and I've seen the number of youths that are working under Oscar coming here with carts like this,
Yes.
full of garbage, and dumping them here. And job creation is one of the things that now we are getting from Oscar, that they are available resources if you get to think about it. So what would you tell to young people that keep saying that there are no jobs, there's scarcity of jobs?
I think they should stop being reluctant.
This is a very
And
interesting...
my motto is always to tell young people, jitume.
Jitume.
Yes.
Send yourself. Send yourself.
Eh?
This is a very interesting perspective. We did Southlands, and Eastlands is where we are getting young entrepreneurs who do not agree with the narrative that there are no jobs in Kenya.
I think the other thing again, you don't have to be choosy. Whatever comes your way, embrace it.
Yeah, okay.
Embrace it and do it with all your heart. So far, doing garbage is just all about passion.
The love for it.
The love for it, each and everything. Because I remember back at home, we used to dig pits so that we could put a dustbin there, then we could use it as manure. But you come to Nairobi now, the pampas, the waso, we have to embrace it also.
Okay. We go. Okay. So now, Oscar,
Yes.
for how long have you been doing this, and how have you seen the transition from when you started it till now?
So far, it's 10 years down the line.
10 years down the line.
And so far, so good. The way I started it is not the way I am right now.
Okay.
I've done quite a number of things in garbage. The resources are so far good.
To hear you talk about green economy at this point,
Yes.
I imagine it's something you have really invested in, really got deep into. How did you get into the green economy, and what is your understanding of the green economy?
My understanding of the green economy is all about our environment so far. And when you conserve the environment, it will take care of you.
Right. Having done this for 10 years,
Yes.
talk to us about your 5-year trajectory in waste management.
My 5-year trajectory is to work in collaboration, maybe with the, how do you call them? With these kind of United Nations, some kind of thing, so that I can get some more donations, some more funds, so that instead of taking the garbage to Dandora, we can start our recycling plants, so whereby we can be sorting our garbage, the plastic, the what, then we take them to the companies direct.
Nice. So while we were doing the story, it's interesting because we just did the story of the Dandora dump site.
Yes.
And it's really interesting because I was really concerned because we have a whole hill of waste in Dandora and it's still growing. There are lorries and lorries moving in and it's around the residential area. I understand it's a government area. But what's really overwhelming for me as a young leader is to hear you say you want to avoid taking waste to Dandora and actually just finding ways to manage and recycle it. That for me is hope for the community and also for our viewers.
Yes.
So Oscar, how many people are employed in your movement?
My movement, so far you have about 20 people.
20 people, job created for 20 young persons, ladies and gentlemen. What started as a simple garbage collection. And you should see the carts that are moving here. There is one here, there's another one that just arrived here, and there is more coming. We don't really have much. Your final shot.
My final shot is to appeal to the Nairobi government, Nairobi County government, at least to embrace this issue, to help more youth, at least to eradicate the crime scenes.
Right.
So far, by my side, I've really tried. The number of workmanship that I have, I'm really trying at least to eradicate the issue of drug abuse, the issue of stealing, and so forth. So my appeal to the county government, at least you can hold hands with us. You help us at least get trucks on time so that we can manage the garbage.
Nice. You heard it from Oscar himself. And ladies and gentlemen, for me, I really get moved when I see young people making a difference in the community, but actually doing something. It is very early in the morning, right here in Embakasi East. We've really gotten to learn so much from this young leader. And when we're doing hopefully when we're doing the leadership forum, we'll be able to invite Oscar alongside other leaders to be able to be part of the forum. We're very excited and we appreciate your energy. We approached him. Actually, we talked for 2 minutes behind the camera, but he was straight on, ready to do it. This was the right person for this interview. Until we see you in the next episode, ladies and gentlemen, Victors with Victor, adios.